the question on internationalization is quite interesting, especially because in Latin America, the need for a solution like Payflow is much higher. Think that, for instance, in Colombia, if you want to have access to money here and now, the rates are more or less at 1% daily, right? That's the daily rate that they are giving you. When you compound it, because when you're thinking of it, you have to compound it, you're talking about thousands of percent per year, right? And this is how bad the system is, basically. So it's not that in Europe it's better or in Latin America it's worse. It's that the delta between what's available to employees that are in the system but not very underbanked, we can call, is massive in Latin America versus in Europe, where it's there is a delta, but it's not as bad. Right? This is why basically the market is so much bigger in Latin America and the product is extremely relevant. The challenges we faced is that it's life is fair, right? So whenever you win, you're going to lose, meaning that in Latin America, sales cycles are shorter because people want to try things faster. But if they want to try things faster, they also want to remove them faster, right? So then the churn is higher. The quality of the data is lower. At the same time, the usage is much higher. So you would think that you have more costs. But the amount that people use is lower because the salaries are lower, which offsets basically, right? So there's a lot of those specific elements in the market that doesn't make it so obvious if it's better or if it's worse. It is a diversification, and when Europe goes very well, sometimes LATAM doesn't, and vice versa, which is why it's important to think of internationalization from that perspective of it must not be an obvious solution. Otherwise, you may as well just shut down your core market. If you keep more than one market, it means that they are complementing each other, and you're also limiting risk, and you're hedging against like a potential like region issue. And this is very important as you're expanding to other countries. The reason for expanding is, one, your market is saturated. I've never seen that reason for any startup early stage. Like typically you don't get to 80% usage in your market until a long time. But two, it can be because you're unsure that your product market fit is the best where you started. And that's a good reason for expanding. But then once you've done that, do measure the difference in terms of cost, in terms of potential revenue, in terms of all the sales metrics, in terms of fundraising as well. Like some people are more excited or less excited about some regions or others. So it's really like a whole decision to make, and it's not just product market fit that drives your expansion. It's a combination of basically those factors, and then you have to make the decision looking at not only product market fit, which obviously is one of the biggest drivers, but also basically your cost structure and the ease for expanding, the talent situation, the funding, the fundraising impact of being in one region or another, and basically the main reasons for expanding.